Hello. I'm not usually a big nonfiction reader, but I visited the new nonfiction shelves in our library and I found some winners today that I want to share with you, and some of them I'm actually reading. The first one is called The Lazy Genius Way, and it's embracing what matters, ditch what doesn't, and get stuff done. The author creates systems to finish tasks, not just about doing things the right way, but finding your own way. She looks at a person's personality and kind of helps them figure out what's the best way to accomplish things. This isn't your ordinary get organized book. It's a little bit deeper than that. Be a good read. The Power of Ritual is by Casper ter Kuile. And we've had rituals in our life. Our parents have had rituals. A lot of people have a ritual of prayer, going to church. But nowadays, some things have changed, and people find a ritual in something like a gratitude journal or taking a nature walk. Things are different. This is helping discover what works these days for people so that they can find community with each other. Good read. Thank you for voting. This is The Maddening, Enlightening, Inspiring Truth About Voting in America by Aaron Geiger Smith. Have you heard enough about voting? Probably it burned you out last year. But this is a new book, and it's a fun read. It's not going to be boring, and it's going to teach you a lot. It tells you the history of voting, talks about women's suffrage, talks about polls, gerrymandering, and that ever popular topic, the Electoral College. It's an easy read, very informative. I would recommend it before the next election because you know it's going to come up pretty soon. Kathie Lee Gifford is quite a big entertainer. People love her. She has been a morning talk show host. She was with Regis Philbin, Heidi Kolb. This is her story, though she has written other books before. She doesn't mince words. She doesn't skip the bad parts. She talks about her first marriage that didn't work out, her husband's adultery, and why she chose to leave the morning show and take off and live in Nashville. She's a very strong Christian, and it shows through in this book, but it's an engaging read about a very vibrant personality. I love this book. It's called Heartland Habitats, 265 Midwest Nature Walks by Mary Blocksma. Mary moved from California to the shores of Lake Michigan, and this is a year in her life. It could be a coffee table book, but it also could be a gift for a serious birder or someone who loves nature and the outdoors. She covers mushroom hunting, she covers trees, she covers snakes, and she has all sorts of trails that she recommends. It's just a fascinating book, and if you're an outdoor person, I think you would like it. And an added bonus, this book feels so good. It's just got a different feeling to its cover. Buy it for the cover, but read it too. Oh, my favorite guys are right here. This is 150 Glimpses of the Beatles by Craig Brown. It's a big book, but a quick read. It takes them from the birth of the Beatles to when they broke up, which was very sad for many of us. In the cover, it talks about what some people thought of the Beatles. John Updike, the famous author, said they were like the sun coming up on Easter morning. William F. Buckley, the conservative columnist, said they were unbelievably horrible. J.R.R. Tolkien, of Hobbit fame, snubbed the Beatles. Leonard Bernstein, the musician, he admired them. Muhammad Ali, the prize fighter, called them little sissies. The Rolling Stones, as you know, copied them. And Bob Dylan introduced them to drugs. However you feel about the Beatles, you've got to say that they did change the music scene forever. Lots of pictures of the boys. What is Indiana's favorite sport? Basketball, duh. Well, this is a wonderful book called Chasing Indiana's Game, The Hoosier Hardwood Project. It's by Chris Smith and Michael Keating. And this dives deep into Indiana's greatest tradition, basketball. It goes from the different gyms to the small towns to the big cities. How many hours do you think have been spent on watching basketball live from grade school to middle school to high school to college? How many hours listening on the radio and watching it on TV? There are beautiful pictures throughout of famous basketball places in Indiana. If you love the hardwood, you will love this book. It would be a good coffee table book, but better to read and look at the pictures. We love Willie Nelson, don't we? Well, this is a story of me and my sister Bobby. It's written by Bobby and his sister Bobby. And they alternate chapters in the book. They were abandoned by their parents at birth, raised by their grandparents. Music seemed to save both of them. He's more into songwriting, she's more into the technical part of the music industry. But it's a good read about a good person that has been around a long time, and we hope he continues to be around. Finally, I'm going to show you a book that's getting a lot of buzz these days. It's called Think Again by Adam Grant. He also wrote the bestseller, The Originals, and he talks about the power of knowing what you don't know. And we all have a circle of friends who might believe the same thing we believe, and we don't want to hear the other side. Sometimes you have to, so that you can understand. Instead of arguing for what you think is right, you should listen to see if you're wrong. And it's about relearning and thinking differently as you progress through life, where you can not just be with your people, but understand other people and possibly either convert them to your side, or you might be changed too. So Adam Grant, Think Again. So this is just a smattering of our new books. I recommend them to all of you. Come up and see our nonfiction section. Thank you.